It's December 20th, and the lake remains open despite the cold. The temperature hovers around minus 19 degrees Celsius. Ice is forming along the edges of the lake, and the mist rising from the surface signals that the water temperature is near freezing. A strong northerly wind churns up waves, preventing the lake from freezing over entirely. However, in sheltered areas protected from the wind, the water has already frozen solid. If the wind were to die down and the lake become calm, a sheet of ice would begin to form within just a few hours. Although it's cold and windy outside, inside our cabin, we are comfortable and warm. Carol is making a delicious chicken noodle soup using this beautiful, organic, pasture-raised chicken from our friends at greenergrazing.ca, as well as vegetables from our garden that we freeze-dried this summer and stored for the winter. She lathers the chicken with a herb-infused butter so that it roasts up moist and delicious. She chops it into a pan with chicken stock and adds water. To begin the rehydration process, she adds the freeze-dried vegetables and herbs, stirring gently until they rehydrate back to their original texture and flavor. Add in some noodles, a bit more cooking time, and you have the perfect meal for a cold day. Delicious. The next morning, we woke up to the most beautiful sunrise. The wind must have died down overnight because there was a thin layer of ice over the entire lake as far as the eye could see. From a distance, the lake looked white with snow, but as we got closer up, we noticed that a beautiful layer of hoarfrost had formed on the surface of the ice. What a beautiful sight to behold, with millions of delicate fern-like crystals glistening in the cold air.
May not be deep enough to walk on yet. Probably an inch and a half.
Nice.
I don't want to get my hands wet.
That there would be one.
The black ice bar right here is one.
Yeah.
Instantly ice.
we need to change up the propanes. That came out and the green light had gone red. That means the tank's empty. We have 2 here. We're using about 2 a month this time of year because we've got 3 propane heaters in the house, and we like to keep them on. Even though we have the wood fire going, if the fire goes out at night, at least when we get up in the morning it's not freezing cold in there, so the propane's a really nice backup heat. But yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full tanks, so we're good through January, February, and into March. By then we'll bring more to the island. The next morning, we found the lake and the forest blanketed with snow. Pete and I put on some snowshoes and headed out a short way under the lake to drill a hole and measure the thickness of the ice. It was only about 1.5 inches thick, not enough to safely snowmobile yet. Peter and Dan decided to head south to pick up their snowmobile, and our friend graciously gave them a ride out to the mainland in his fan boat. Yeah, are you near that?
No, like I see it on the maps.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ahead or behind us, honestly.
Just back a little.
So we told you guys about Pete and Dan leaving down south to go and pick up Peter's sled. They took Vandy towing the marina's snowmobile trailer, which was really nice of them to lend that to us. But while they were down there, they were having engine problems or just like a shortage. And, you know, they would put in a new fuse and it would start back up again. And so we're like, okay, it's not too bad. And they're like, okay, we'll leave first thing in the morning at 5:30. Yeah, they just totally broke down again. And they went through fuse after fuse after fuse and it just couldn't go. So luckily, the craziest thing happened. Chris and Kendra were on their way back from town, and they're like, then they could carry on and go get Pete and Dan, which again blows my mind of, you know, just our friends and all the help that we received from all of them. But yeah, so they went down there, picked up the trailer and the snowmobile, the tow truck came, took poor Vandy. We hope to have her back and working, but yeah, so she's about close to 2 hours away from us right now. And she'll get worked on and fixed. Meanwhile, this is the other dilemma. So the boys are coming back with some gifts from Caroline and Matt and just a few things and a grocery list. So yeah, and this was for New Year's. And Dan on the lake with the airboat, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with all this, but Dan with the airboat said, yeah, I can take them back on Sunday at 2 is the latest, because he has to get out of there because he is leaving on a fishing trip for 10 days. So, yeah, and then when the Jeep broke down, we're like, no, they're never going to make it in time. So luckily, they took all of our keys. So they have the truck keys, which they can stay there until the weather cooperates and gets colder so they can cross the lake. But unfortunately, it looks like we will be missing them on New Year's. Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer, because even the groceries that I had them pick up were for New Year's and just celebrating this next week. So looks like Pete and I will be by ourselves with Lando. Yeah, so what do you do? Life is an adventure, and things, you know, can happen and come up, and it's just like, guess how you take it. I'll be missing them this New Year's because we were really looking forward to it, and we're gonna do a polar dip and a sauna together and just cook a lot of yummy food with all of you. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. But it does look like at the end of the week, it gets like brutal cold. Like winter has arrived. There is like nothing for like 2 weeks except for like double digit, you know, minus double digits. Where's the boys, Lando? Where's the boys? One of our traditions is to burn the Christmas tree on New Year's Eve. And we were holding out waiting for the boys, but Pete and I are just going to do it now. Should be cozy and fun. A pleasant evening, and I'm enjoying this weather right now because I know this next week gets brutal. And tonight there's like no wind. It's only like -2 Celsius. And it's just a perfect, quiet evening. I don't think Pete and I have been alone, since before Caroline was born. And that's just, both of us are just kind of staring at each other like, wow, this is really, really different. And, but we'll make some calls, video calls to Caroline and Matt and to the boys in the Ross Monster truck. So we'll just soak in the remaining of the year, and we'll see you next year. You ready to go? You gonna help me? Let's go. This morning, Lando and I are gonna get all the ice fishing gear out and get that ready and get like the fish finder hummingbird set up, all charged. We're just kind of filling in the time right now while we're waiting for the lake to freeze up, and just getting everything organized, especially now that there's hardly any snow on the ground. I've been going around basically the whole island and just stacking up some of the firewood up near the trail so that it's easy to find when the snow does come back again, and we can take the snow dog or the snowmobile and trailer and go around and pick it all up. There's been 2 trees that have fallen in some windstorms, and then there's 2 or 3 really nice dead trees. 2 birch, which is great for hardwood, and 1 white pine. So that's good, but we don't want to use any of our chainsaws right now until there's access off the lake in the coming year. And super thankful to have you guys with us for this year. So we really appreciate you guys. But yeah, so right now it's ice fishing gear. I'm going to text the boys and see if they can pick up some minnows. We're going to be going for pike. And hopefully it can be this Sunday that we can start doing some ice fishing, or maybe Monday. But exciting news is next week when we can get off, because then it's just balmy minuses, like really, really cold weather, and winter will have settled in and the ice will be nice and thick. So we have no worries. But we found someone with an airboat, and we've been talking back and forth for the last week, and it just makes sense, especially after what just happened with the boys, and just that uncertainty all the time. We just said, let's just pull the trigger and go for this fan boat, and it came to a good price, a reasonable one that worked for us. And the gentleman is really knowledgeable, sent us tons of videos, and has really been helping us out with all of that because it's brand new to us. And then Pete Jr. Loves engines and everything, so he's been researching everything there is to know about that engine and that type of boat. So we're excited to leave, hopefully first thing Monday, Tuesday, and drive the about 7 hours to go and pick it up. And we'll be taking Pete Jr. with us, and Dan will be staying here on the island with Lando. And I'm sure he's excited to get back and start putting out videos. So they both cannot put out videos because their computers are here, all their gear is here. They're like, they said even they've been trying to film for you guys and make videos for you, but they're just running out of space. They don't have anything because they just thought it was going to be a quick one day down and then spend the night, and then they left at like 5:30 in the morning to go look at a property and then continue up here and be back last Saturday at 2 o'clock. But unfortunately, Vandy had some electrical issues with her, but she's getting fixed. So that's exciting. I mean, I'm happy it wasn't anything major with Vandy. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing this week, is just making sure the ground and everything's put away properly, everything's switched around before the deep snow comes and the really cold weather comes. So yeah, Lando, I bet he is so excited probably to go running with the snow dog on the ice. Like, he is just itching to run. I've been trying to walk him around like the island probably between 4 and 6 times. It's a 10-acre island, and it's okay. He's happy. He never complains, but he's excited to go those long distances at fast speeds. So really fast, the freeze-dried food is holding up. So thankful we've had that to use. And it's just such a peace of mind. I can't believe it. So this unit worked really hard this last fall. And I can't say enough about it. So I'm super happy. But I'm just kind of looking through inventory. And if the boys can make it on Saturday night or Sunday morning, I want to make them something really good. Maybe another soup of some sort. So we have our 3 basic rods that we more leave out in the snow, like on the ice for, a couple hours. And then these ones are more for like when we're actually fishing. So yeah, so this is more of the trout rod, and then we have the pike rod, and then ones to leave out. So I'll get everything charging, make sure it all works. This is what I really wanted to look at because some of these broke. They, you put them out on the ice, put your rod in, and that's what those other 3 are for. We don't really do that with these. Like that. And then there's a flag system, and it holds it so that you don't have to be sitting at the hole the whole time. And all of a sudden you'll see the flag go up like that, and there's a fish. Do you miss the boys? I miss the boys. I need to clean the glass. Can't even see it next time it cools down. So this is kind of the area where we keep our water, and I like to put it right next to our propane heater and the fireplace, and that way, when we bring it in, it's just freezing as we're bringing it in, and big chunks of ice in it. And then most of the time we do it in the evening, and then that way it has time to sit all night in front of the heater and the fireplace. And then it gets to room temperature, so that when we're using our little propane water heater, that works great. I've really fallen in love with it. I think it's our best camping style water heater, but then it doesn't have to work so hard and burn tons of propane. That way, if it's room temperature water, it just heats up like that, like a matter of seconds. Probably, if I were to really think about it, probably between 5 and 10 seconds, it's at the temperature that I want it to be to do dishes or take a shower. So yeah, we find this method to work great. Always fill them in the evening. They have time to sit for a good 12 to 15 hours, and then it's all good to go from there. A few of you have been asking questions on just how we make everything work and how much we've used of different things. So yeah, so far 2 propane tanks, and that's crazy. I thought we would have gone through at least 4 by now, because we've been running these heaters in the main cabin room, Pete's room, and our bedroom. I do like to sleep with our bedroom like pretty cold, but yeah, with all the cooking and the baking, and if you think about it, you have to cook for 4 people while we can't get off the island. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, and then you're constantly doing dishes because it's like people just kind of graze in and out. It's not like you can, I don't know, there's just a lot of dishes when you're at home or in one place, everybody at one time. So yeah, really happy about the propane heater unit. And yeah, we just all take turns doing 2 buckets at a time. Normally the boys do it when they're here, and then Pete's been doing it, and I'll go out there and help them. And it's really fast and easy. So it's a good way of not having to spend a fortune, but being able to experience this and do this lifestyle that we've been doing. So, but I know that Pete and I are looking at more permanent solutions moving forward. Just, we know that we're getting older, and who knows if our boys will be here for next winter, and it just will be nice to have permanent hot water and no bucket water. So who knows if that's something we can do this year, or if it's something that's going to come later. But we definitely have a system in mind, and I'm sure Pete will talk to you guys about that more. But yeah, for now, the temperature is dropping, and we're super happy about that. And just counting down the days and hours until we see the boys. So yeah, today's Thursday, like I said, so probably not tomorrow, maybe not even Saturday, but I'm really hoping in this video that we can at least capture them coming across. That would be really cool. I know I'll be super happy. I miss them. It's very quiet, but Pete and I have been getting a lot done. A lot of little things that, like when we were traveling for so long, we had to kind of neglect. And so, like, I mean, even just looking for a fan boat, I mean, that takes hours and hours and hours of, searching on every platform. I mean, we were on Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, all sorts of just sites with used fan boats and what kind of fan boat. And we finally found one on, I think it was Kijiji. So super happy, and I cannot wait to get off the island and go and take a look at that. So that's gonna be a fun trip. I think we're gonna spend the night out there along the way and kind of camp. It'll just be refreshing to just have a different change of scenery after so many weeks, months of being kind of landlocked here, or what do you call that? A little bit landlocked. And then we'll get back and let the season begin of ice fishing and exploring the beautiful country around here. Lando, do you want to help me do the bird feed? Don't act too excited. No? You're too sad? That might be the boys. It is. Hey, Pete.
Hey, Mother.
How's it going?
Good. It's a little cold, and it took a while to figure out the starlight that wasn't turned on. But
Oh, really? Nice.
this on top of it would be great.
Oh, I'm glad you figured that one out. I was just about to go and feed the birds. Lando misses you guys. He doesn't even want to come with me, which is strange. Ooh, it's icy on the trails. But Lando and I... Oh. Lando, let's go. I know. So Lana and I are going to be... we have some tape here. And I was mentioning those 3 trees. So we're going to tape them off. Just so we remember where they are when they get covered in snow. But we're almost there. The trails are so icy. I'm looking forward to when it snows. But right now it's perfect because it will make the ice really harden up and not have that insulated layer of snow on it. So after tonight, I think it's minus 15 tonight. Then only the high of like minus 8 tomorrow. And it goes back down to minus 15, and that's without the wind chill. So this is the birch. And I hope it's not too punky. I'm happy that there's all these little new trees coming up. But you can see it's lost its top up there. And then there's no buds coming off of this branch. So we'll see. But man, there's a lot of fire starter on it. I need to get a big bag or tote and peel all that off. So that's one. And then right through here, you can see the little white pine, which is going to be perfect for Dan's wood stove, you know, smaller logs. Just walk down and show you. Like the base is pretty good. And it goes up there. So that's number 2. That one will be nice because we can just lay it down onto the water and then snowmobile it around over to Dan's. And then the birch right there. And that's a lot of nice bark, if anything. I don't know about the wood. Looks a little punky. We might get a few pieces at the base. So it's always nice to tag them, because if Pete and I aren't here and the boys are looking for the trees, they know what ones we're talking about. Wow. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's the wind pushing. Pushing on the water, on the ice. Making it crack. Just soaking in some of that sunshine. We don't get very much right now. This is nice. So beautiful. Look at that. I love the sun. So we've been stacking up wood like that all around the island for them to pick up, like what I was telling you guys. And wow, That sun is nice. When the ice is on the lake, then we just pull our chairs out there and we just sit in the sun that way. But right now, it's hard to find spots that it actually reaches. It's so low right now in the sky. So this is the last one. This one's a nice size. I like how it has no branches, so it'll be easier to split without any knots. Lando, let's go. Come on. So since we have pretty much finalized the fan boat, and we'll be getting it next week, it's really hit me that this time, the 2 years that we've done this, you know, spending the freeze up and the thaw of last time, and then now the freeze up, that this is a unique experience, and it's something that I think has really helped me, like, mentally and physically, like, to wrap your mind around, like, you can't go and get something if you need it. You know, did you prepare enough? Do you have enough? And mentally, are you strong enough? Because it's like, if you want something, it's not like Amazon delivers out here and you couldn't get it anyways. And if you're craving a certain type of food, or like right now I'm craving bubbly water, like no tomorrow, and a fresh salad, like, and just avocados. I have no idea, but it is just like, it's almost overwhelming because you can't have it, right? And to be okay with that feeling, the kind of it's not like it's discomfort in the way of like being too cold or too hot, wind burnt, or, you know, sunburnt or something. It's that discomfort of, you don't get that, you know, gratification of like instant, like where I can just jump in the truck, drive to the store and go pick that up, and or go to a Thai restaurant and not have to cook something. Yeah, it's those little tiny things. Or, you know, I might have a project in mind and I'll start on a tiny project and I'm like, oh, but I can't because I need this, you know, epoxy and that, and I don't have it, so I have to wait. I guess it's being patient, learning to be more patient and learning to be okay with not having something right away, and maybe having a craving of a food, or, you know, something, ice. Even though we're surrounded by ice, like I could easily make probably ice in a tray. It just doesn't taste that good. Yeah, it's those little things. But yeah, so once the boat comes next week, it's kind of like that whole thing is over, because unless the boat were to break down or something, but I mean, we'd be able to fix it, Lord willing. I don't even want to talk about that scenario, but yeah, what a cool experience this has all been. And I'm glad that, you know, our whole family has done it. You know, all of us with the kids have done it. And now we have done the freeze up. And within 2 days, it's over. This whole experience. And it's been incredible. And I'm really happy that our family decided to do this and endure and kind of go through that little bit of growing pain, you know, because when you're on the road, even, there's always, you know, you might have to drive 2 days, but you'll find a store, or you'll find your needs, or you can ship it to a PO box somewhere and go and pick it up, right? But yeah, so I'm super happy we got to experience this, and for me, I really hope that I've grown through this. I know it's not much. It's not like in the olden days, and my goodness, we're all so spoiled with just stuff at our fingertips and whenever we want it. So It's good. The avocados and the bubbly water can wait. Yeah, so, and you know, missing the boys. I can't believe it's going on to 10 days now of not being with them. I had planned a big thing for New Year's, and it's just like, you know, this is the lifestyle that we've chosen, and stuff happens and plans change, and to learn to be flexible and go, you know what, that's okay. It's obviously meant to be, and maybe something the boys can learn from, and you know, go through whatever that they're going through right now. So yeah, it was a neat, fun New Year's with just Pete and I. Crazy the last time that's been, I don't think we've ever, like I said that we were, the last time it was just him and I was, yeah, before Caroline. So that's almost, well, 25 years ago. So incredible to think of that. And now, you know, we just experienced it. I do enjoy being with our kids, and same with Pete. But again, it's just one of those things that it just happened when you live a adventurous life, to be, yeah, flexible. I think that's the word. The word of the day is flexible. And the sun just keeps on shining. So what I was telling you guys about us, we always would pull these two chairs. We'll probably pull our canine chairs that we use in the trucks. I brought them out so that when the ice, like look at that, that is freezing up so nice and thick. That's where we have our water hole. So Pete can still walk out there just fine and get water. But we pull our chairs and we tuck away right over there. And it's just beautiful sunshine, out of the wind, all day sun. But yeah, what a beautiful day. So again, guys, thanks for listening to my girl talk. And it's always fun, and it keeps me encouraged, and Pete's always trying to make it as nice as possible too. It's so cute. And the boys, they're always like looking after me and making sure I'm comfortable. But yeah, so whew, it's cold. Gonna warm up. I think I'm gonna make a tea. My dad for Christmas sent me a bunch of tea, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll see you guys probably in the morning.
That night, the temperatures dropped well into the double digits below zero, and we could hear the sounds of the ice thickening. We were eager to get up in the morning and see how much ice had formed on the lake, and whether it was finally safe enough to walk on. She's thick. Real nice. Inch and a half, 2 inches roughly. This is our water hole, so probably thicker out there. Yeah, it's a good 3.5 inches on the thick side. So just as a precaution, I'm going to tie a rope to a tree. If I fall in, Carol can pull me in. But I don't think we will fall in. Looks pretty solid. So I got the rope. I have ice picks here. If I were to fall in, I'll put them around my neck. What happens is if you crack through the ice, you push water up onto the surface and makes it extremely slippery, almost impossible to get out if you don't have ice picks. So these are almost like nails, and you just use them in your hands to dig into the ice and get yourself out of the hole. So those are good. If you have a stick like this, you walk with it. If you were to go down, you're probably not going to break a hole that big, so you'd have something to push off. So we got 3 different precautions. I'm going to take the drill out there, drill a hole somewhere where it hasn't been disturbed in the middle, and then we'll know what the thickness of the ice is. And that'll give us a pretty good indication of what it's like all across the lake. Yeah, the length of my finger, so 2 or 2.5, 3. It's good. It's nice solid looking ice too. Double digits below 0 last night and all day today and all week, day and night. So if it's not already stable enough for a snowmobile, it will be very soon, which is good news for us and for Pete and Dan so they can come home. It seems solid. I've been looking to see if there's any cracks or fissures that get created as I go by. So far, so good. Really solid. Good. So I just went across the wide part there and it didn't feel bad at all. It looks about the same thickness all the way. So the big test is going on the big open water, but I have a good feeling about it. I think even though we could kind of risk it today, it's Pete and our consensus and Dan that if we let this the rest of today, it's very, very cold. Tonight will be even colder, and then tomorrow morning sometime I think we'll safely be able to cross in and out, and then we're no longer stranded.